Start set to do the honors here, and we are underway from Cleveland. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Jackson looking to throw right away. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
First carry now for Gus Edwards. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
That's very nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup brings to 4th down. Great first drive defensively. 3rd and short, able to stop the run.
And what it does is it gives not just confidence to your defensive players, it gives an overall feeling of, okay, we've established things here early. We can carry this throughout the game.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. That's caught. It's Demarcus Robinson. And he is going to have a Ravens first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
We all know how talented this guy is. There's clear signals for him, but even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 28. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Not up there for the first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. So play number 10 now coming. It's been a long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he will have a Ravens first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Counter play, Drake. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And now Jackson will look to throw it. He'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Isaiah Likely, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Ravens get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Watson. Under pressure, and down he goes. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. After 7-0 on EA Sports. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. Faking the give, now Watson. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
After the interception, here's Jackson. That will complete to Prochet. And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game at Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now Jackson. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And he won't get close. Only a yard. 4th and 3.
Yeah, on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 29, Jackson.
That's into the hands of Prochet. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. From the gun, it's Dre. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Throwing is Jackson.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown.
A 15-yard touchdown grab. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
And it's no good. He missed it wide to the left. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Here comes Felton to bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Browns drive about to get started. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. But this offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Following that sack, Watson and the Browns backed up for a 3rd and long.
On play action, they'll throw. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
The Browns send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right. And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Browns going to see the football first, but they trail here as we resume play on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the 3rd quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit.
On 1st down, they go right back to Hunt. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play. And you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch. And then he's able to absorb the contact to complete it.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Watson off play action. His throw incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A big third down pickup of 20 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. On the delay, here's Hunt. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. On 2nd and 7, Watson. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. A handoff out of the pistol. It's Drake. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Taven Bryan with a nice play defensively. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Jackson to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. Decent gain on the scramble at 6, but now it's 4th.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here. Hey,
Fourth down, here's Jackson. And he's got it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on 4th down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the first down. It's now 1st and goal.
Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They'll run here with Edwards. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So They need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Once more, Edwards, but he will lose yardage here as they knock him back to the 3. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
This has not been a fun sequence for him at all. First and goal, no gain. Second and goal, he ends up losing yardage. He may be trying to talk him into getting the ball third time, but I think it's going to be difficult for him to win that battle.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is third and goal.
Jackson now out to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
Tucker with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Here comes Felton to bring it out of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Now it's Watson, a bootleg, on the move to his left.
Now, a quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The Browns on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Watson.
He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Handoff up the middle, Hunt. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play. Leads to 2nd and goal. At the 9-yard line.
They'll run again with Hunt. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Touchdown! Deshaun Watson on target to David Njoku. And the Browns are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, 4th quarter, and a chance if they want to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Edwards. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Anthony Walker up behind the line and finishing that play off.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
This goes out wide for Drake.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit him over the top.
Rolling to it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining.
Forward.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And he's got it inside the 10. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. James Prochet, a 7-yard touchdown grab, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. And this win now going to look a little more lopsided on the scoreboard, CD. Now, some may have run out the clock in that scenario, but they wanted to put their foot on the gas, get one more touchdown, and they did just that.
Well, partner, I would say the traditionalists not overly excited about that score. They'd like to see the game played a little bit differently. But what you can't argue with is their execution of that play, because it played out exactly as it was drawn up. It almost would have been a shame not to finish with such a well-run play.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.